Hey, hey, hey. What's up, y'all? Strap in because we got a whirlwind to unpack today. Trump is back in office and he didn't just walk in, man. He kicked the doors down and started flipping tables. On day one, he pardoned over 1,500 January 6th defendants like he was handing over free concert tickets, declared ICE back in full force, and dropped the mic by saying, "There is only two genders, period." Meanwhile, at his inauguration, Elon Musk found himself in hot water over what some are calling a Nazi salute. And Obama and Trump were laughing together. Yeah, you heard me right. And rumors about Barack and Michelle's marriage are bubbling up louder than a rap beef. Well, and as if that's not enough, TikTok might be on its last legs in the US. And Arizona is out here giving full on Wild West reactions to these new policies. This is chaos. This is drama. This is allegedly what and why. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And I hope you guys are ready to get all the information, get it all going, completely unbiased. We share a little bit of opinions on this. But to get started, you guys, usually I do a toast, usually I do a review on a drink. But today I don't have anything for you guys, but I do want to review a cool little product. It's not top tier, it's not the best in the market, but to all my people out there that do, indulge, here we go. We got an unopened Ganja Berry Blast. And you know why I do all this before I dive into politics and what's going on in the previous week is because, you know, I think you're crazy to be talking about all this stuff with a clear mind. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, you're obviously like if you're a politician or you're a businessman, you need to be taken seriously. Um, but that's not me. I am a journalist, an independent, somebody who seeks the truth just as much as you do. And we use these platforms to reach out to the people who can't get this knowledge or information that are just too ignorant. And we just share the truth, we share the facts, and we do the community notes and etc. etc. So I opened up this package. This is what we've got right here. A little bit of a C cell going on. I've got a little spin on battery right here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. It means a lot to me. It's been a long week for your boy, but we've made it through the day. We made it through the week. Today is Friday. Today is the 24th of January, 2025, man. The first month went by pretty quick and we're here. Cheers. Very, very tasteful. Probably more quality in the taste than it is in you know, the uplifting part. But it tastes really, really good. And then I've also got, it's already been opened, but it's full. Little 2 grammer, super fog. These things are super reliable. 5 out of 5 with the quality. They're dank. So be very careful. If you guys want to let me know what you guys prefer, what you guys like, go ahead and hit the comments. When it comes to drinks, you guys already know what I like. I'm more of like a dirty whiskey kind of guy. I like rum chata. I didn't like the buzz balls. I like hypnotic. Just stuff that's real tasteful. I hate alcohol. We are not friends. But you already know the deal. Today, your boy is sipping on some coffee. So pardon the gulps if you guys can hear it. I'll sip quietly. All right, gentlemen and ladies, thank you for tuning into today's show. Now, there is a lot that I would like to talk about, a lot that we're going to go over. So tune in, get ready, and here we go. Now, there was a lot of conversation and stuff about the inauguration about Trump, and let's dive into it. As you guys know, I like to get my information from every and all sources, from the left, from the right. I combined. I also like to use ChatGPT. I also like to use the 4.0 Mini. Pretty much, I like to use everything and all, just because it's important that you're not just getting your information from one source. You never know if it can be reliable or not, and if it is, should probably stick to it. But and not only that, I also show my resources and sources and all of that stuff too, so you guys can get that information yourself. So don't think that I'm out here just telling lies and stuff like that. That'll never, ever, ever be the case. So let's dive into this inauguration. I was getting a lot of this information off this podcast called Patrick Bet David, aka PBD podcast. I highly recommend it. I love it. I get a lot of my information off of there. I probably watch everything that the gentleman on that podcast release. Huge fan. If you guys ever get the chance to check out what I'm doing here, much love. Appreciate you guys. You guys definitely motivate me and inspire me. So, on January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States. Marking his return to office, due to sub-freezing temperatures, the ceremony was held indoors in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. The event included traditional activities such as service at St. John's Church and an indoor parade at Capital One Arena. Now you could find that paragraph of everything I just said on Times, Sunday Times, PolitiFact, and thepeople.com. In his inauguration address, President Trump criticized the previous administration and outlined plans to impose tariffs and wind diversity's initiatives in favor of colorblind and merit-based system and tackle inflation to bolster nation prosperity. On his first day back in office, President Trump pardoned or commuted the sentences over 1,500 individuals charged in connection with the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack, including those convicted of assaulting police officers. Notable figures such as Enrique Tarrio, leader of the Proud Boys, and Stuart Rhodes, founder of the Oath Keepers, were among those pardoned. This action fulfilled a campaign promise, but drew criticism from various political figures and organizations. The inauguration was attended by former presidents, tech industry leaders, and foreign dignitaries. My apologies. The day concluded with an inaugural ball marking the beginning of President Trump's second term. Now, there has been a lot of speculation with this inauguration. You know, if you haven't heard it by now, the whole Mark situation. We're gonna dive into that, so be ready for that. But my main question, allegedly what and why, was why was it, why are the news portraying it so much as oh, did you see Harris and Biden in the background? Nobody stood up. Did you see them, stone cold face the whole time? They were so upset. And I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, because the bloodbath, the name calling, the attacks, they all, hate it or not, realistically, they all were trying to get rid of each other. Have you ever heard of that saying where crabs, they're in a bucket and they're trying to get out, but while one's almost there trying to get out, the one under it grabs it and pulls it back down, thinking that it's going to get above it. Or so at the end of the day, the crabs are always pulling each other down, and that's politics, man. And I don't think, I can't say that there's one that doesn't do that, but they all attack each other and stuff like that. So it would only make sense that the faces that we're seeing, nobody standing up. But let me read you guys a little bit of this. During President Trump's inauguration on January 20th, former President Joe Biden and former Vice President Kamala Harris were observed sitting stoically behind the newly inaugurated president as he outlined his agenda. Their reserved demeanor was noted during moments with President Trump criticized the previous administration policies. For the visual of this moment, you can refer to the Wall Street Journal's live coverage of the inauguration, which includes footage of President Trump's speech with Biden and Harris in the background. Additionally, PBS News provided live coverage of the inauguration, capturing various reactions from attendees, including those of Biden and Harris. You can find this, like it says, Wall Street Journal, PBS, and let's see, thepeople.com. Cool, cool. Now, it looks like Donald Trump has declared two genders, male, female. And I've never had a problem with that. I kind of like how that goes. You know, it sounds like music to my ears. Seems like we're on the right track with that, and I'm just glad to put an end to all that madness. No offense to nobody. Nobody get offended. Moving on. So during his inauguration addresses, declared that the U.S. government would officially recognize only two genders, male and female. The policy shift has been met with both support and criticism, reflecting the nation's ongoing debate over gender identity and rights. Well, like I mentioned earlier at the inauguration, looks like somebody was staring at a little something. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I do want to show you guys a couple pictures of what we're talking about here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it to my desktop, show you guys a couple things, and then I'm going to bring it back to my face. So here we go. I'm going to go right here. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Zuckerberg caught staring at Lawrence Sanchez's cleavage. Well, and if people don't know who that is Jeff Bezos' woman. And look at this guy in the background too. He does like a funny thing. I don't understand. Men are men. But maybe it's not that serious. I don't know. I don't think it would be a good idea to wear something like that at an event so popular and big. And I don't even think he was caught staring at it for like such a long time. So, I mean, you know, I don't, you know, who said it the other day? Well, at least we know he's not gay. So, now let's move on from the inauguration and a little bit of this politics and, you know, Trump. I want to talk about TikTok. Okay. I know there's a lot of people that make their money on there. There's a lot of creators. Before we touch this little topic, it'll probably be like no longer than like 3 minutes. I want to share my opinion on this. I think it's cool that people make money on this app. I think it's cool that people can share whatever it is they want. They could tell the world whatever it is they would like. Here are some issues that I have. Number one, who owns this? Supposedly China, and apparently they have our data, and there's things that they could do with that data. I don't agree with that. Number two, now there's a lot of things that kids are doing nowadays, and it's called, you're just swiping on your phone, you're just swiping on TikTok, you're just stuck to the screen, right? And my biggest problem is what's being fed to these kids. Now, it could be, you know, for instance, people know that streamer or whatever, Speed, where he would go down and touch his freaking ankles doing like stripper dances and stuff, dropping down. And kids were doing that too in the middle of day-to-day lives, thinking that that was cool because people like him were doing it and it was going viral. So that's one of my biggest issues because, like, to be honest, if I saw my son doing that, I would be like, yo, what the hell are you doing? That is unacceptable. You're grounded. Go in the corner, squat. Here's 10 pounds worth of books. Stick them out like that and sit there for 20 minutes. But I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But, you know, you need to be accountable, reliable, and you need a father in the house that knows what they're doing. Not saying that there's not, but you guys know the deal. So that is how I feel. Kind of, I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel that way. And I'm sure there's other people that feel otherwise. So, but apparently, as of January 23, 2025, TikTok is navigating a complex landscape of legal challenges, user concerns, and potential ownership changes, legal and regulatory challenges, lawsuit over harmful content, comparison with Douyin, which is Chinese, and let's see, ownership and potential acquisitions, interest from U.S. investors, ByteDance position, platforms availability, and user migration. The situation remains dynamic with ongoing debates about user safety, data privacy, and the platform's future in the U.S. So there's the safety of TikTok for content creators is currently under scrutiny due to legal regulatory and operational challenges. But here's a breakdown of what content creators need to consider: legal and regulatory uncertainty, monetization challenges, harmful content and moderation, emerging alternatives, community guidelines and safety. And, well, let's see. TikTok remains a valuable platform for growth, creativity, and revenue, but creators should be cautious due to its uncertain future. Recommendations: diversity your content across other platforms and keep backups of your TikTok videos and followers list to mitigate risk. If you're a creator, the key is to stay informed, follow updates, and build your audience on multiple platforms for long-term safety and sustainability. Let me know if you'd like help with these strategies. Your boys got you. I'll send you all the stuff because you know I'm doing everything myself. So, I got you. Now, one thing's cool though is that I want to share something. I asked ChatGPT, I said, what are the first 5 things Trump has done since being in office? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would like to know, right? I mean, because everybody's like, well, what are the first 5 that are horrible? And then what are the first 5 that everybody's like, yeah. Well, let's dive into it. Since January 20th, Trump has enacted several significant executive actions. Number 1, pardoning January 6 defendants, withdrawal from international organizations, elimination of diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI programs, energy policy shifts, and border security enhancements. I love it. I love it so much, and they all sound amazing to me. Where the heck is Vivek at? What is his last name? Ramaswamy? I mean, I could have swore, I'm not going to lie, when he started, running for presidency not too long ago, I was like, who is this guy? Started learning more about him, started hearing more about him, started doing research, and I was like, this guy is a genius. This guy is a super intelligent. He's well communicated. He's very thoughtful, very impactful for the community other than his own community. And I think like he's going to go far with being a politician, whatever he chooses to be, a governor, mayor, president, whatever route he goes. I mean, he's a billionaire. So, I would tread lightly when it comes to trying to get in that man's way. But apparently, the biotech entrepreneur and former presidential candidate has recently stepped down from his role in President Donald Trump's department, Doge. This move comes as he prepares to run for governor of Ohio in 2026. Ramaswamy's departure from Doge was influenced by deferring visions with co-leader Elon Musk regarding the department's integration within the federal government, while Musk advocated for incorporation Doge into the federal structure to achieve spending cuts and improve efficiency through technology. Ramaswamy preferred to remain an external entity focusing on deregulation and constitutional issues. It's a lot of freaking words, man, but to put it to this way, he was saying that the American people were like dumb, and we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. Obviously, it makes sense when he says we should seek the smartest and intelligent people in the whole world and tell them to come to America. Let's make this place shine. Make it the best place in the world. But you can't tell the American people that like you're dumb and this is all your fault and you accept it. Like we don't want to hear that. And if you're going to tell us that, then get out of here. I mean, it's the basics of the situation. And it looks like Elon Musk won, so he's going to be the leader of all that. If you guys have any problems with that or discredit that, go ahead and let me know what you think. Now, I know Elon Musk is doing a lot of things right now. He's got to be. Now, it looks like he's critiquing the Stargate AI project. He's doing controversy over inauguration, the whole jester thing, the legal challenges, the SpaceX developments. It's non-stop, guys. So, but I mean, if you guys want to look at this picture real quick, it's pretty funny. So,
important some or not, but this one this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
I mean, people don't look bothered by it.
That the future of civilization is assured.
I mean, it definitely. He put a lot of gesture behind it. That's for sure. He definitely. He put power in that. Look, guys, the guy's autistic. Yes, he's a billionaire. He makes money like no one else. He's a hustler, baby. But I think he's got I forget what the thing is, but Asperger's or something like that. And I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I know he's obviously not a Nazi. People who are Nazis, you can see and tell from a mile away. And honestly, we probably even wouldn't know what a real Nazi is because we didn't live in the time where the Nazis were fucking, being a Nazi and doing Nazi things. So all we have is just like the term, and we think and we tell, you're a Nazi. And it's like, no, I'm not. Don't call me that, please. Well, guys, what the hell is going on with Obama and Michelle? It looks like Michelle hasn't even been showing up to the inauguration or Jimmy Carter's funeral. And it's got people like shook. People are wondering what the hell's going on. Well, it looks like at the end of the day, people just need to kind of slow their rolls a little bit, mind their business, take a step back and understand like, hey, there's nothing wrong going with their marriage. There's nothing, too rocky at the moment. Obviously, in my opinion, I think she's like, yo, we all were like at war. What makes you guys think that I want to now sit at the table with all you guys after you guys were all just cutting each other's heads off? I mean, yeah, I'm speaking as of her, my husband, because he's the former president. But at the end of the day, like, no, I'm not with any of that. Y'all could all go to hell. And so I think realistically, she's just staying back, being a good, wife and not being involved with any of that, which is totally fine. Raises eyebrows for sure. Like, because now there's speculations and rumors that apparently Obama and Jennifer Aniston, um, apparently she went on Jimmy Kimmel Live and stating that she had only met Obama once and knew Michelle better, and then laughed off the rumors, emphasizing their falsehood of the rumors of them being together. So, very interesting. A lot of people think that they might be getting a divorce. I doubt it. I think people should just stay out of it, let them do them, and focus on your own life. My apologies. There's a saying in the Bible that I love, and it's before you take the speck out of other people's eye or judge others, you must take the speck out of your own eye. Meaning, like before you go around judging and trying to correct others and stuff like that, look into yourself, look into your life, reflect, and figure out, how could I be better, do better. One, even if it's just 1% every day, you're guaranteed on the way to becoming a better person. So it's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm coming from, get my viewpoint. If you guys are still watching this, much love. Thanks for staying tuned. Now, the cool thing is I was having an interesting conversation with ChatGPT because now that there's only two genders declared, right? I was like, well, what's gonna happen with all the people that because obviously a lot of people think that this whole thing went too far. Like, why didn't nobody say anything in the jump? Like, why are men in women's sports? Why are men in the women's restroom? Why are men fighting women in boxing rings saying they're women? I mean, it's crazy. Kids are going to schools changing their genders without the parents' acknowledgement or permission. Yet you need permission slips to go to like field trips. So like the whole thing is bonkers. The whole thing is literally seriously legit. And people had no idea of what was happening because the news wasn't covering it because the Democratic Party was taking it all down. They were focusing on Trump is evil. Trump is this. Trump is yada yada yada. So like it's very interesting that you know nobody's ever like we should have since day one been like, yo, that's wrong, that's crazy. Yet, the conclusion to the majority of all this is like obviously the LGBTQ plus rights, they've all worked extremely hard over these past 10 years to have the rights that they have. And that goes on forth for all the other entities and people that exist, and here in America, your rights matter. You as a person, you matter. And this is freaking America. So like, you shouldn't be scrutinized. You shouldn't be, it's discriminized. Um, well, you know what I'm saying, but you want your rights too. Everybody deserves the rights of Americans. But it's important that we don't dive too deep into this nonsense and craziness because there needs to be a threshold of common sense. And the more we start falling away from that, we start losing the idea of um, reality. Literally. Literally. So, I got some interesting facts that I wanted to share before we start wrapping it up. I know it's only been 30 minutes so far into the podcast. However, ICE is back in motion, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, under President Donald Trump's administration, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has intensified its operations. The agency has resumed large scale enforcement actions focusing on undocumented immigrants with criminal records and reinstating workplace raids to identify and detain unauthorized workers. This renewed emphasis aligns with the administration's commitment to strict immigration enforcement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, under President Donald Trump's administration, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has significantly. Hold on. I don't. I think it just gave me the same paragraph to read on my thing, but that's okay. My apologies. Well, expansion of enforcement authorities. You know what? 1 second. My tongue is twisted. I need 1 second. Let me get some coffee in me. All right, back in business. The administration has granted new powers to agencies such as the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the U.S. Marshals Service to arrest and deport undocumented immigrants. This move is designed to alleviate the burden on ICE agents and increase the number of what's it called? Immigration-related arrests. Now, it looks like just in 3 days, over 1,500 people have been sent, given the boot. So I'm loving it. They said if we keep it up at this pace, America's future is golden. So I can't complain. I hope they're doing it the right way. I hope they're doing it right. I hope they're not going too overboard with it. Looks like ICE arrested 308 individuals across sanctuary cities like Boston, Denver, Philadelphia, Miami, and others. These arrests targeted people with serious criminal records, such as attempted murder and child molestation. Following the operations, an additional 538 individuals were detained nationwide in coordinated operations targeting gang members and those with outstanding criminal charges. Total in 3 days, 846 individuals arrested. This rapid escalation reflects the administration's commitment to stricter immigration enforcement, particularly in sanctuary cities and areas with high levels of undocumented population. Now, Arizona. How is my beautiful state taking all this info? Your boy just touched his jaw a little bit right there, but I'm chilling. Now, political reactions, supportive stance. Some Arizona politicians have welcomed the renewed focus of immigration enforcement. Bipartisan engagement. Newly elected Democratic Senator Ruben Gallego has shown a willingness to collaborate with Republicans on immigration issues. Local government responses, varied approaches. Arizona cities and countries are deliberating their roles in supporting federal and state immigration enforcement. While some local leaders express reluctance, others are more inclined to cooperate. Community and humanitarian perspectives. Organizations providing aid to migrants along the Arizona-Mexico border are preparing for increased challenges. They anticipate that stricter enforcement policies may lead to heightened risk for migrants and potential legal challenges for aid providers. Family anxieties. Families with undocumented members are experiencing heightened fears of separation due to potential mass deportations. This concern is particularly acute in mixed statute households with the threat of losing loved ones looms large. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's only a couple of things with that statement is like obviously you're going to be separated, but you're separated for a reason because you're in a country that you came in illegally. Like if you didn't want to be separated from your family, maybe you shouldn't have committed the crime of but it's not a crime if you came into the country illegally. Now, what's illegal, what's not? Too many have been coming in here illegally. Those are the ones getting removed. Those are the ones getting separated. And if you don't want to get separated, don't do the crime. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. So, I appreciate you guys. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I know it was really fast. I know it was really quick. Usually I talk a lot about hip hop culture. There's not too much going on right now, other than Drake, being Drake, Kendrick out here spitting bars. We've got a couple of the old heads, dropping classics like they back in the 80s. Can't complain. If you guys want to go check out that new Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg album, that was pretty gas. I enjoyed the hell out of it. 10 out of 10. We've got Ice Cube with a new album. Um, we got a lot of these guys that were locked up finally getting released. Shout out to Young Thug. He's back out here in the streets. So you guys stay tuned. I'll probably got more hip hop stuff for you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you guys so much for the follows, the DMs. If you guys have any questions, you know where to hit me up. And not only that, um, if you guys have any interesting things you guys want me to talk about, you let me know. I'm thinking about doing stuff history wise too on this channel. Very, very interesting stuff. I've got a bunch of other things coming up in the making. My brother and I are doing a podcast called High Times with Jag. Again, it's High Times with Jag. It's going to be super fun. We get high, make Legos, do reviews. You guys are going to enjoy that. I've even got another channel called Hustling Hustlers, where I've obviously start from $0 to, and then we work our way up to 10,000. I go step by step, showing you exactly how I do it, so you yourself can follow the journey and do the journey. Um, Super super fun. We do all kinds of hustles. You guys will love that. Hustling Hustlers, and then I'm also working on another project right now. I'm almost finished with my book. It's an autobiography. It's going to be called How the Young Survive. How the Young Survive. And pretty much just going to be about my life, my story, how I came up in the world, how I was, raised, a little bit of all my troubles, a little bit about how I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, how I began my relationship with God, and pretty much just changed my life around for the better. Completely did a huge 180 flip in my life. And I just love sharing that with the world. I love inspiring. I love motivating. I'm also working on another project where I go around Arizona, like going to the most haunted places and the most history, starting with my state. And I'll be going on a motorcycle with drone footage going to each place. It'll be like a own television series. It's going to be super, super, super cool, super fun. And I hope a lot of people are there for the journey. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, if you guys loved all the information that I gave and you guys thought I was being a little funny or all that, and if you guys didn't, still give this thing a like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun stuff. I appreciate it. This is all new to me. I believe this is like episode 4 and we're just having fun. So, yeah. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in. This is allegedly What and Why podcast. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'll see you next week. Peace.